And my father came back to work on a newspaper called the Irish Times. And he'd been threatened many times by the IRA of that period. And we as children were kind of brought up not to talk to strange men, not for various other reasons, but it might apply to my father, not to say that he left home at 9 and he arrived back at 8 or whatever. And he and a very famous editor called Smiley and a columnist called Miles Nagopoline, they'd put the paper to bed one night, which was about 4, and decided they'd go for a drink. So they drove up and got a cab and drove up into the Dublin Mountains. And they were having a drink, and my father noticed this man coming into the pub, very quiet, stood in the corner, got his little glass of stout, and occasionally looked in their direction. And my father said to Smiley, I've seen that fellow's face before. Do you think it might be one of the boys, as they're called out? And Smiley said, well, just let's kind of move out and get the cab and go off to another pub, which they did. And 2 minutes later, the man comes in again, orders his little drink, stands in the corner and watches him. And my father said to Smiley, what do you think I should do? I mean, shall I go have it out with him and sort it all out? And Smiley said, no, don't be a nut. I mean, if you don't argue with a gun. So let's just so they go out, get into the cab, and off they go to another pub. And sure enough, in he comes. And by now, my father has got to the point of no return. So as the fellow orders his drink, my father goes up, grabs him, and hits him. And the man falls down, and my father's not just happy hitting him, he sits on him, and he's got his hair and his head together, and he's banging this man's head on the ground. Sheer kind of rage. And he said, why are you following us? And the fellow says, I'm your bloody cab driver.